And we are live, and Novak just won his first match of 2018. My name is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. And as you know, we have the famous Matt Bradshaw from Coffee Break Tennis. And I am excited to see Novak on the court. I've got to say, I think the game needs him back. It's going to be great now that we have Roger playing so great. Rafa wins his match 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. Andy Murray's a question mark if he's going to come back. But if you are a Novak fan, have been worrying, how is Novak going to do this year? Can he recover from this elbow injury? I'm hoping that Novak answered a lot of questions for everyone tonight. At least tonight, for the time being. You never know as the tournament goes on. But he certainly shows tonight that he is very, very capable of playing at an extremely high level. So if you're watching right now, definitely comment, join us. Let us know, what did you think of Novak's performance tonight? Were you impressed? I got to say, I was pretty impressed by Novak's performance. I'm going to point out a couple of things that I think if you are a Novak fan, that's going to get you excited. And what do you think about Novak's chances now of making a serious run? I think before last year, when Roger did what he did and when Rafa did what he did, we would say, well, you know, it's his first tournament back. Don't expect too much. But they kind of broke the mold last year, and now Novak basically followed the same exact formula that Roger did. In fact, I think Matt from Coffee Break Tennis pointed out that Novak actually announced that he was going to retire for the rest of last year on the same exact day that Roger did. And the one thing that we could say about Roger last year when he came back is he looked fresh. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Yeah, give this a thumbs up if you like this broadcast. And we got some comments coming in. Is Murray playing fine? Murray is not. Murray is hurt. Here's the thing. Okay, Andrew says that he was impressed with Novak's aggression on the forehand. And this is exactly what I want to point out, is that Novak, I thought when he started to not play as well, he started to get too defensive. That we know that he can play some of the most incredible defense that we've ever seen. He gets himself into these Gumby-like positions where he's hitting these open stance forehands and backhands, running side to side. But I thought towards the middle of last year, before he finally, called it quits, that he was just doing way too much of that. He was not taking the offense. He was not changing direction on the backhand down the line. So I thought that was a big point. Tonight, Novak showed that he was back on offense. At least for today, it looks like he's stepping in the court more, and he was taking that backhand up the line, which I was really excited to see. He hit a number of backhands up the line for winners. He crushed his forehand, as Andrew was saying, and he hit some awesome open stance, crushing winner passing shots. So I thought that was key number one, that if you're a Novak fan, we know that he can play some of the greatest defense we've ever seen, but he's got to play offense if he's going to win majors, right? He's always tough to play when he plays defense, but when he can play defense and crush offensively, he basically ran poor Donald Young around. And I wonder if it was kind of that Andre influence. He looked a lot like Andre, where he was controlling the baseline, staying on the baseline. And we know that Andre is now his coach. In fact, he's got 3 coaches. He's got Andre, Stepanek, and Craig O'Shaughnessy, who is a stats guy. So Novak is obviously committed and wants to come back. Do I think Fed will get to number 1? It would be a huge record if Fed could get to number 1. Diego, I think that would be awesome. And I'm sure Matt from Coffee Break Tennis is going to weigh in on that. By the way, Better goes on a little bit. We know that Matt will be watching that match, and he will do a great job on that. But I'm here to talk about Novak tonight. If you are a Novak fan, I would be encouraged. He is back on the offensive, which I liked. Here's another thing that was a big concern, I think, for a lot of people, is there's this rumor of he's got an abbreviated serve because of the elbow injury. And one thing that I found very encouraging is that I like the new motion. Okay. We've seen Sharapova have to go to that abbreviated motion after she had her shoulder injury. If you don't know, Novak had an elbow injury, and so they've changed his motion to where he basically does not really lag down anymore. He just comes right up, kind of like Andy Roddick did. But what I like about his motion is that it's very smooth. It's got a nice flow and rhythm to where other people who I've seen go to an abbreviated motion, it looks very robotic and not fluid. And I think that if you are a Novak fan, I don't think this abbreviated motion, when I see people go to an abbreviated motion and it's not something that's natural for them, it tends to look robotic. It tends to bring in a lot of double faults. Even let's see, who was playing Doden? I think Bouchard was playing Doden, if that's her name, if I have that right. And you could see that her motion, she had an abbreviated motion, but it looked very robotic. I think the key, that if you're going to have an abbreviated motion, I think the key is you have to have a lower toss. And Novak has that low toss. If you notice his toss it's very smooth. He's not waiting on that. I think when you have an abbreviated motion, you toss that ball way up, then you got to wait on it right here. And then that forces you to kind of hitch and then think and then double fault. He's throwing that ball up and then hitting it right away, and it looks really, really nice. And he was still able to get his serve in the 120s, which is really all Novak needs. He's not going to be, busting you off the court with 130s, 140 serves. If he can get that serve consistently between 115 and 125, and he's not throwing in doubles, and he plays offensively from the baseline, he's going to be really tough to beat. And he looks fresh, right? Towards the end of last year, when he finally threw in the towel, he looked just frustrated. He looked tired and just worn out. And you could tell something was wrong with him. So the question now becomes, how far do we think Novak can get? So I would love to see you guys comment below. I'm seeing lots of different comments. Let's see. Will Federer play the clay court season? I don't know if Federer's going to play the clay court season. Thank you. Diego says, just love your work here. Huge tips and tennis lessons. Thank you so much. So I want to see some comments. Do you guys think that this is just too soon to tell if Novak is back? I mean, I think what we really need to see, and I'm sure Novak doesn't want it for a while, is we need to see Novak go through a physical test to see how he's going to be able to come back the next day. Today was relatively easy for him. He won in straight sets. He looked awesome. It was probably just what the doctor ordered to get his confidence up. So it'll be interesting to see when Novak goes against a tough competitor, and he has to go against, I think he's going to play Monfils. Am I right, guys? Yes, he needs to be challenged by Monfils. Now, I'm sure Novak would probably disagree and say, no, I don't need to be challenged yet. I would rather have another easy match. And we know that Monfils can go either way. It depends on what Monfils shows up. Monfils in the past has been intimidated by Novak because he knows that Novak runs for every ball. And so sometimes Monfils is kind of like thrown in the towel on that. But if Monfils comes ready to fight, and it'll be and that match gets into a fourth set, maybe even a fifth set. Hopefully, I don't think it's going to go that far, but if it did, we would then see, how long can Novak serve and hit balls and grind, and is that elbow going to start bothering him? Oh yeah, would love to see a blockbuster Djokovic Wawrinka quarterfinal. That would be awesome. And Wawrinka had a tough match tonight. He won in 4 sets. It was 7-6 in the 4th set. He gutted that out. That would be a great match to see. Another thing that I want to point out just before we leave here is just a little tennis lesson. I can't help myself. If you guys don't know, my name is Peter from Crunch Time Coaching. We do tennis instruction. Matt has the fastest growing talk show, Coffee Break Tennis. How many Coffee Break Tennis fans out there? But what I do want to point out is Novak put on a clinic on how to break down a lefty serve. Now, I happen to be a lefty, so if you ever come up against me and play me, please don't do this to me because you will take away my favorite serve. And what Novak was doing, guys, is, let me just move the chair here. Novak was quartering his body way out here in the alley. Did you guys see how he was not only in the alley, but did you see how he moved his body to guard against that out wide serve? And when he did that, Donald Young basically had no offense on the ad side. And lefties usually, they count on that ad side to win a lot of free points, and Novak was giving him no free points. So that was a clinic. I think more people. I'm surprised Federer's starting to do a little more, but it's amazing how many people play lefties and they don't just do that right off the bat. It's just a great play, and Novak shut that down. I'm sure Andre had something to do with that as well. Let's see. It would be the final if Djokovic could get there to play. If Djokovic, I would pick Djokovic. Okay, Joseph. There's just no way Novak is in the finals of this tournament. Well, Diego says no way to Djokovic getting to the finals. But remember, we were probably thinking that with Federer. We were just happy to see Fed back on the court last year after we missed him for so many months. And when he won a couple of rounds, we were just happy to see that. And Federer was happy to just be out on the court and didn't really expect much. And then he went and had an incredible run, and he basically dominated the first 6 months of last year. And when you're fresh and you feel good and you've already won, how many matches does Novak really need? If he knows how to win, and as long as he's feeling the ball, you never know how far he's going to go. I think it's more about, is that elbow better? With players like Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, they've won so much. I don't think it's like they just need more matches. I think they just need to feel good that they just need to trust that their body's not going to break down. Like, I think towards the end of last year, Federer didn't play with the same confidence because he just didn't know what his back was going to do. And I think now Federer looks really strong again. I think he's fully confident in his body. Yeah, right. Rudy says, when a player has won 6, never say never. Guys, I'm seeing some thumbs up roll in. I appreciate the thumbs up. If you would share this video too, that would be fantastic. And I'm excited to see Novak on the court. So if you didn't get to see Novak tonight, the 3 things that really impressed me was, number 1, I really like his new serve. I think his new serve looks really good. I think it was a good move to change it. And I don't think it looks like it has a lot of hitches and hesitations, things that tend to throw in double faults. I've seen people change their serve before, and it ends up looking robotic. Novak's serve does not look robotic. It looks very nice. The other thing is his movement is tremendous. He was very intimidating with his movement tonight. We saw that Donald Young missed some easy shots because he saw Novak running out of the corner of his eyes, and he missed it. So Novak's got that intimidation factor back. He looks incredibly fit. Diego, keep doing this. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad you like this. And then finally, Novak was taking offense again, guys. Novak was back on offense rather than just being Mr. Defensive Gumby, going way behind the baseline. I think when people were getting worried about Novak fans would complain that he's playing too much defense. Now he's right on that baseline again. And I think as long as Andre is coaching him, you're not going to see Novak drop behind the baseline. He is going to be on the baseline. And, he might have to go back there for a little bit, but I'm sure Andre is always going to be telling him, you get your butt back on the line. So I'm excited. It becomes another exciting new year. Isn't the Australian Open? Don't you just feel good when the Australian Open comes up, because you get that little layoff between Thanksgiving and the holidays and Christmas. And if you're a tennis fan, you kind of go through a little tennis withdrawal. And then all of a sudden the Australian Open is there. And they're out there on that sunny blue court. And all the people you've been missing come out and play. And it's just really cool. So I'm hoping that Novak and Federer and Nadal stay in that tournament as long as possible, because I want to see them all go for it. As a big Federer fan, Djokovic is scaring me right now, Joseph says. Do you think Stepanek has something to do with his new strategic approach? Vincent says. Well, what do you think? What do you think Stepanek's strategy that he's giving him. I don't know. Stepanek was extremely aggressive and served and volleyed and did some quirky things. I think it's more Agassi than anything. You think Fed can beat him again? I think Fed can beat anybody. I think that's the cool thing. I think Novak and Rafa and Roger, they've all proven they can beat each other. This slam is the slam that gives legendary matches, right? That's right. It's awesome. I love the slam. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to come on and do a live broadcast. I'll be doing lots of live stuff. Matt may do some live stuff, but you're going to see his coffee break tennis every day at 11. And you know that he's getting his little rest now. He's probably sleeping with Mr. Goat, and he's going to get up and he's going to watch the Fed match, and he's going to give you the best coffee break tennis tomorrow morning at 11. It'll be up there. So be looking for that. My name's Pete from Crunch Time Coaching, and I will be coming in as much as possible with match reactions live. So that's kind of what we'll be doing on this channel. If you love tennis, you can go below in the description, and you can go to crunchtimecoaching.com, and you can pick up yourself a free serve course, 7 steps to a powerful serve, if you would like a powerful serve. That's it. I'm going to leave. Does anybody have any final questions before I go on this live broadcast? Once again, thanks, Pete. Hope to see you next week after the big first. Oh yeah, well we'll be on a lot. We're gonna be on a lot, and thank you for the likes. If you're watching this on the replay, continue to give it thumbs up so YouTube gives it more love. And everybody, good night for now, and make sure to check out Matt's Coffee Break Tennis tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Take care.